So I'm gonna try some backwoods engineering here.
It works.
Well, hey folks, welcome back to my channel. I'm Handy Matt, and today we are going to start and hopefully finish rebuilding a gate in my backyard and part of the fence. Here's what we got going on. We got a cedar fence that is pretty rotted out, and whoever built it basically just went easy street on it, and this shouldn't be set up like this on the top bar, and this one's just toenailed in. Well, we're gonna fix that and get it done correctly, and with the gate we're gonna go ahead and make a whole new frame. I'm gonna reuse all the dog ear slats so that the fence still looks nice and weathered and won't have anything that looks like it's been patched. Hardware, I'm gonna reuse that. It's still pretty decent. There's a bunch of missing lag bolts because the wood's all dry rotted and everything's loose and falling apart. Same with the hinges. So I'm gonna go ahead and carefully remove these slats. They got a lot of nails in them. Get all the nails pulled out and remove the gate. Get that inside, get everything taken apart, and start rebuilding. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing I gotta do here is I gotta take the gate off. Coming out way too easy. All right, now I'm going to jump in and taking all these slats off and go from there. All right, I'm going to start on the bottom with these nails. Because if I start on the top, when I'm down here pulling these bottom nails out, the slats are going to fall on my head. Alright guys, the enemies have arrived. Well, they were already here. Right here by the fence. It is way too early in the day to knock them out because some of them are out flying, and the best time to do that is twilight when they've all come home to roost. But I got work to do, so this stuff is going to knock them out. Alright, I'll just wait a little while. Now, I might have a few flying around. I'm trying to finish this fence, but at least a good portion of them are going to be dead. There's one down there. You're not getting away. I got some up here too, so I might as well hit them real quick since I'm here. Yeah, I think I got them. Alright, we'll let things dry out and I'll come back out here and start putting boards up. Hopefully they don't hammer me. Ooh, somebody just came home. Die. Well, this can's pretty much empty. I got another one, but just in case. Alright, I guess I'll wait a half hour, let things dry out, make sure they're all dead, and I'll come back. Alright, the wasps have seemed to have mostly died. We're going to put the bottom horizontal on first, and I'm just going to follow where the original was so I can reuse the nail holes on the slats. Drill holes are a little off, so I need to move it over. Alright, so the top one, this post is actually leaning that way a little bit. So I cut this one 5/8 of an inch shorter than the actual distance. And if my calculations are right, I can pull this post over just enough. I'll pull this post over a tiny bit as well and get it to where this post is vertical, at least on this plane. Start by screw in down here. Put a couple of them in that. Well read it. So all I gotta do is push this post over before I drive one of these screws home. About there. Let's see how straight we are. As long as it's closer to plumb than what? Oh, we're perfect. We're on the money. Perfect. Put all the rest of these screws in. And I was a little off on these two. I pre-drilled, so move them over. All right, I'll show you really quickly why I put my horizontals like this. It's because I can get a full purchase on this post with 4 screws. Other people, sometimes people will put their horizontals only halfway across, and then they'll put 3 screws and then 3 screws on the next one, but it creates a weak point. So I like to make sure that I get 4 screws in every single one, and if I'm really close to the end, like here, because of the gate, I pre-drill my holes so I don't split the board out. Now, if I was doing a long run of fence, I would actually overlap the horizontals one above the other, and they would overlap the post by about 6 inches, and then that prevents split out and also allows 4 to 5 screws to go in on every single horizontal on the end of each one. Makes a much stronger fence. And if you're doing a fence that's, let's say there's no trees around it, there's no buildings, it's exposed to the wind, you can actually overlap each horizontal by a couple of feet, right? And then wherever it's overlapped, you can just drive a 6-inch structural screw down through both of them to tie them together and just stiffen up the fence really good. So I like doing it that way because I don't like building fences twice. So that's just my thought process on it. But here we are right now trying to make an older fence a little bit better without having to tear it completely out and just make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and start going through the slats and figure out, well, I got to put one more 2x4 here because I got hinges here getting screwed in here. So I got to put a vertical 2x4 on the post right here, and then we'll start putting the slats in and getting it back to being a fence. All right, I got that board fitted in there right where I want it. I'm going to put a total of 6 screws in it. Hopefully that's enough. All right, let's put some slats up. All right, it's time to put some slats on. So I've selected the most, well, no, that's not the most robust. There's a little bit of damage there. Let me find a better one. I need a really good one here because the hinges are going to go out now on the outside of it. And hopefully a fairly straight one. This one's not too bad. So normally when I do these fences, I'll set a slat every 8 feet and I'll run a string line and it'll kind of follow the terrain. But I'm doing 5 feet, so I'm just going to eyeball it. This first one needs to be a pretty robust piece, even though it's old, so I can put the hinges on here. And I'm only going to put 1 screw in the middle on the top and bottom, and that's because this stuff is old and it tends to crack. So even if I tried to use the original nail holes, I could crack it out. So I'm going to go straight in the middle with 1 screw. Right about there. This first one I'm going to go ahead and put both screws in, top and bottom. Now we'll go ahead and hang the rest of them. 1 screw at the top, and then I'll line up the bottom. I'm going to space them about a 1/4 inch apart. spacing just a little bit, about that far. You know, back for you. Sorry. Here's some slice there. Right off the inside of the house. So I had no choice but to glue in. So I got half a piece of here. Alright, let's head down to the bottom. Need my knee pad. Alright, so all these turn out to be fairly crooked, but it looks like I can maintain pretty close to 1/4 inch spacing going down. We'll see how it works when we get towards the end. Well, there it is, folks. The fence part's done. Here's the other side. Set up a whole lot better, But I can't go on today because this post right here that has the latch on it, it leans that way at the top. The difference is about 2.5 inches from the bottom. And then this post here leans this way about 5/8 of an inch. So in order to avoid resetting posts, I'm gonna fabricate a 4x4. I can't use those two that are down there. I gotta go get another one, and I'm basically gonna make a wedge shaped scab that I can put on this post to bring it plumb with this other post. Well, it won't be plumb, but it'll be plumb to each other. Then I can hang the gate. But actually I'm gonna probably hang the gate before I put that on so I can get the measurements really accurately. But that's pretty much where we're at right now for today. So tomorrow I'll pick up a 6-foot 4x4 and get it ready to turn it into a great big shim, and I'll put the gate together and get it all done, and this project will be done. So anyway, thanks for watching. Best way to support this channel, hit the share button. Yeah, all those other buttons. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Laters.